Good evening, friends. Mark Wilkinson here, slightly distracted for one moment there, just making sure everything was working properly. Yeah, it's all good. Welcome along to Ask Mark Anything on a Sunday evening. It's great to have so many of you join me across all of these lives and everything that we do. So, yeah, absolutely, buzzing about the fact that it's 1 month until Life Remix, the book, is available. We've had some amazing endorsements. I can't wait to share them with you over the course of the coming weeks. But yeah, if you want to ask any kind of questions tonight, I've had quite a few in already during the week. But if you want to ask any questions, just pop them in your comments. They'll turn up in my chat box down here. And I'm more than happy to field any questions or anything you want to know about Life Remixed, or indeed the book, the process, anything that's happened. I'm sure there'll be more once you've read it as well. But I was talking to a few of the guys today. I've put lots of thank yous in the at the start of the book for all the people that supported me throughout my music career, especially back in those days. So and then obviously my last 10 years and all the things that have happened while I've recreated myself. So look, I've got a few questions. Let's get straight into them. First question that came in was, what are the 3 things that helped you overcome your crisis? Hi, Lewis. Great to have you here. What are the 3 things that helped you overcome your crisis? So I suppose, if I have to pick 3 things, I always talk about forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. And those 3 things, I could almost put them into one thing now. So I'd say that forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude is like one kind of like a piece of the pie of actually like recovering. Let's just put Lewis on the screen here as well. He is. Sunny Spain, yeah, okay. Sunny Spain for Lewis. It's a bit chilly here. The snow is melting, but it's still pretty taters. But look, So forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude was something that was really, really important for me to understand about myself before I could actually then become an influence into the rest of the world. So making sure I forgive everyone, everything, including myself, and letting go of everything completely, accepting everything as it is, only working on the things that I can change, and then being really, really grateful. So despite the fact I don't love the cold and the snow, I'm still here today, grateful that I can do something here in the world, effective. Last night we had the DJ mix, which was amazing. I'm massively grateful for 300 people joining us online last night. Davey Valentine, hey Dave, thanks for being here, mate. That's excellent. Feel free, obviously, any of you, like I said, just pop something in the comments if you want to ask any questions. So if we put forgiveness and acceptance and gratitude in one box, and I know that's quite a big subject, but we put that in one box. The next parts of the recovery from the crisis were visualization and purpose. It's been said that the purpose of life is a life of purpose. It's so important that you understand what your purpose is. And most people I ask, they just don't, they never have an answer for it. Or if they do, it takes some time to get there. And I think it comes with long and patient effort, if I'm honest. You can't just click your fingers and go, right, that's it. It's actually real deep thought. A lot of people, we've been gifted a mind in order to think, but a lot of people don't think, or they mistake, some of the things that's going around in their head as actual thoughts. Some of that can be not the most productive of stuff. So really, really important to think on purpose, and actually then create your life on purpose. Mine, I've said many times before in these for the last few months, is joy, knowledge, inspire, create. As long as I'm doing joy, knowledge, inspire, create, I feel great. It took me a long, long time to work this out, and a lot of drama and a lot of mistakes and a lot of stupidity along the way. But ultimately, hands up, I had to go through these processes to understand what it was. So here we go. Look at that. That's great. Look, Facebook user. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Thank you. If you haven't been to StreamYard.com/Facebook in order to authorize your name, then I won't actually see you on the screen. So you can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook while I'm still here, I'm sure. But otherwise, just put your name in there so I know who you are. But thank you. It's great. It's great to have company and have people here. So big love for that. So look, forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude in one box, and start with yourself and get on with it and make that happen. Know what your purpose is, or if you're not sure what your purpose is, go for it and find out what it is. Make it your mission in life to find out what your purpose actually is, because when you do, you will know how you're going to live the rest of your life. Now, if I ask Lewis what his purpose is from Equilibria, Lewis is watching us. I'm sure you could tell us, Lewis. I've actually got Lewis's book here. I'm reading a number of books at the moment, but I've got Lewis's book here at the end of the day. Can you see that? There we go. That's Lewis's book. And he actually very kindly signed that for me. He signed that back for me back in 2014. I can't see it too well, but there's Lewis's signature on there. So thank you, Lewis. I am reading through it again just to refresh my memory. So that's all good. But yeah, you must understand what your purpose is in life. So the last part of that is not gratitude. The last part of that is visualization. I'm reading Savvy Wisdom, which is Peggy McColl's book. So I'm reading that at the moment. I'm also reading one of Bob Proctor's books, or two of them actually, The Art of Living by Bob Proctor. And in there, he talks about how we tend to rob children of their imagination. We tend to rob children of their imagination. We tell them to focus and listen to what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. When a child's kind of like daydreaming or visualizing something, we tend at schools particularly, they tend them to focus and get stuck in. That's actually sort of robbing children of that creative process. And I think some of that is almost like, as adults, is for us to unlearn all of the things that we've been sort of like, beaten into us as children. There's a lot of, metaphorically, obviously, all the things that have been put into us as children is actually about understanding that you visualize your life before it happens. You think through what it is that you would like to achieve, and then you create it in your mind. You think about it in your mind, create the pictures in your mind, and that is what you will move towards. And it works. I mean, Bob Proctor says it works with every person every time, and he's right. He's absolutely right. It's worked for me. It can work for you. It worked for all of you. If you visualize life's forthcoming attractions. I think it was an Einstein quote that says, the imagination is the most powerful nation on earth. It's like, it's just imagine, I'm imagining the next 10 years of my life with Life Remix coming up, working with Kevin Green, working with some amazingly talented people that I work with at the moment, working with E-Colours and Equilibria with Lewis. I'm just imagining all of this stuff. And the more I imagine it, the more powerful it gets. We've got Rachel here. Hey, Rachel. Excellent. Great to see you here. Excellent. Thank you so much. Here we go. And Judy would like to know tips on how to find your purpose if you seem stuck, as a lot of folks aren't clear. Brilliant. Great question, Judy. I would say it's a very masculine part. Now, when I talk about masculine and feminine, I'm talking, I'm made up of 50% masculine and 50% feminine, as are every human being. We're made up of mum and dad, and the feminine side of us is love and appreciation and growth, and I have that, of course, you all have that. That's the feminine side of us. The masculine side of us is about purpose and direction, and the problem is that we don't always make that side of us grow. We don't push that side of us to actually like step up. It takes responsibility, it takes work, it takes effort. So for me, the way I found it, I just kept getting asked. Every self-development guru I ever, or person that I was like working with and coach and mentor, every single person asked me, what is your purpose? And I didn't have an answer. But I tell you what I did. I kept reading. Repetition is mastery. I've got a big pile of books here, and I kept reading, I kept studying, and I wanted to understand what my purpose was for being on the planet. And the more someone asked me, and various people asked me, the more various people asked me was the more I had to think about it. So what I would say is it's long and patient effort. It's also what drives you, what gets you out of bed in the morning. And what I find is, as you're saying there, Judy, a lot of people aren't clear on it. A lot of people don't understand it. You must learn to articulate it. If you can articulate something, you could visualize it, you can articulate it, then it can become real. So when people ask me what the purpose was, or before I was like, I play some records, that's about it. I don't know what else I do. I was a DJ, so that's all I did. And I think it's very, very important to ask yourself these better questions, to find better answers. And so once I started to join the dots about, yes, music was a part of my purpose, but actually I could use it in a much wider place. Like now, I'm doing these calls. I'm online. I'm talking to people. I'm connecting with people. I'm bringing joy to I want to meet every person. I want to bring joy to every person. And I can do that with music on a Saturday night, as you would have seen if you were watching my Mixcloud last night. We had 300 people online. It was fantastic. And now I can do it with these kind of talks and the efforts that I'm going to, and obviously with the book Life Remixed and all these kind of other things that I'm working on. It's so much about momentum. It's about growing a purpose. It's about developing yourself. So don't feel, some people feel, when they're asked a question, they're a bit like, oh, I need to have an answer. No. It's okay. Just chill. It's all right. But do start to give some real thought to it. And once you can start to articulate it, write it down. And I've said to quite a few of my coaching clients, joy, knowledge, inspire, create. I don't own those 4 words. They could be yours. They could be yours. Or you might have a different take on those. You might work around them, But at the end of the day, just decide what it is you're on the planet. And I'd love to know, obviously, I believe Lewis's with eColours is realising potential, which is a beautiful one for Equilibria. Judy, obviously with Heart and Soul Marketing, with Hasmark Publishing. So, there's some great stuff there. And I think it's very, very important to understand what it is your purpose is and how you're going to bring it out into the world. Once you can come up with your purpose, you can then visualize and you can then start to really visualize about your perfect life. So as I said, 3 ways that I got over my crisis: forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. And I just started to learn and study. And I just, this human nature hasn't changed over thousands of years. So ultimately you can learn. Yeah. However you're feeling right now, there'll be a book out there about, how to find your purpose or how to deal with anxiety. And Life Remixed covers all of these subjects and more. And there's some great people that I point you to afterwards after reading Life Remixed. So yeah, look, forgiveness, acceptance, gratitude, understand your purpose, be able to write it down, take your time with it, and then get into visualization and really visualize what you're doing. I visualized Life Remixed, the book, which is there under the manuscript is there under a ton of books. So I'm not going to try and get that out. But we signed it off last week. I visualized it. I've been visualizing it for 10 years. I also had a visualization 10 years ago of myself standing on a stage with one of those little microphones. A little microphone that is hands-free. I visualized myself doing that and standing on a stage. Yeah. Watch this space. We'll see what happens after COVID, right? Yeah, anything is possible. I've had the visualization and I keep working on that visualization. I also visualize a couple of things that happened this week with a couple of major endorsements to Life Remixed. I can't wait to share with you, but I'm going to wait for you to see them in writing before I start blabbering about them. Right, so we've got another question here. This is a great one. What advice would you give to a 20-year-old who would like to be successful? The question actually says, what advice would you give to a 20-year-old who wants to be successful? How many of you guys want to be successful, and how do you judge success? But, what do you want to be successful, or how do you want to be successful? The advice I'd give to a 20-year-old is the advice I'd probably have given to my 20-year-old self when he wanted to become a DJ. I'd say, first of all, don't want for anything. Visualize purpose, vision, goals. So, know your purpose, visualize everything that you would like to achieve, and then start setting your goals. I would say find your passion. And music for me was my passion. First time I heard Elvis and the Beatles on my mum's stereo at 6 years of age was a huge moment. And I just remember hearing all these amazing songs. I didn't really love the ballads. I love the really uplifting, tuneful songs, and I was like, wow, and this feeling of kind of like, goosebumps, and just like, this is amazing. And so that was music. That was my passion from 6 years old. I would have liked to have played football, but I wasn't very good at football. So music was my next port of call. But it was my passion. Music and football are huge passions of mine, and continue to be so. And so, find your passion. The other thing I'd say to my 20-year-old self, so I'd say to this lovely 20-year-old who wants to be successful, remember, don't want for anything, just vision what you like and then start going for it. Start to build up some assets behind you. When I was young, parents and grown-ups at the time would say, You've got to have a trade. Got to have a trade behind you. You know, what happens if it all goes wrong as a DJ? And I'll be like, don't worry about that. I'm a great DJ. It'll be fine. It'll go on forever. You know, I didn't really want to trade, to be honest. It wasn't really my thing. But what I would have said to myself, you know, and probably what would have resonated with me when I was younger was have assets. You know, have assets and things behind you that will actually start to pay you a return into your pocket. One of my mentors says, in life there are assets and liabilities. There are assets and liabilities. Liabilities take money out of your pocket, and assets put money into your pocket. And that's as simple as that, you know. And then he's Kevin, and he makes a joke about ladies, you know, or you know, gentlemen, you know, what's your partner like? And it's great, isn't it? Because it's assets and liabilities. You know, what I say about Emma and I is the fact we're an asset to each other. We grow together. You know, investing in each other and investing in all of our businesses and everything else that we do. So definitely have some assets. Think about the future there, because at the end of the day, if you can actually get to a point where you have enough money coming in every month that actually covers your expenses for the month, then you can go and be as creative as you want to be. You know, go and be as creative as you want to be. You know, so and live your passion. I was a DJ traveling around the world playing records, having a great time. Most of the time, I was having a great time. But when it all went wrong in the credit crunch in 2008, and after all the things that had happened with the internet and music and everything else changing, I didn't have any assets. I had a huge passion, but no assets. And as soon as the gigs dried up, that was it. I was done. And that's not good. That's not a good place to be, because that leads to fear, doubt, worry, anxiety. It does not help. Okay. So, you know, start planning now, because I, you know, pretty much guarantee you there'll be another crisis. After this one's gone, there'll be another one in 7 to 10 years. And we have to make sure that we're ready to weather that storm. You know, that I'm planning now for the next one. I planned for this one last time. So that's what I'd say to you. Just watch out for that. You know, it's, you know, something else will happen. Live your passion, of course, grow your assets. And if you think about your purpose from the last question, my purpose is joy, knowledge, inspire, create. My property portfolio brings joy to people because it keeps a roof over their heads. Can you see how I'm just tying all of this together? It works, and it works well. Okay, and the last thing for a 20-year-old who would like to be successful, go for it. Go for it. Do not waste a heartbeat, as Lewis says. Do not waste a moment. You've got to go for it. You know, you've got to go for it. The sooner you start going for it, the quicker it will happen. Richard Branson's parents just told him to go for it. Go for it, go for it, go for it. And it worked out pretty well for him. And I was acutely reminded this week by a friend of mine who's just died, you know, in his early to mid 50s, Phil Asher, wonderful DJ. You know, we're not promised another moment. We're really not. So, you know, make it happen. Go for it. Get on with it. Do not allow the grass to grow under your feet. There you go, Lewis. Yeah, there you go. A life without purpose has no meaning. When I'm reading at the end of the day, you know, before your collapse, I wonder if you had a moment or if you had time where you were just running around the globe, just stressing and trying to make things happen, whether or not you actually had your purpose. Because I know as a young DJ, I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of what I was doing. Although I was living to my purpose and I could join the dots, because I wasn't aware of it, the fear, the doubt, the anxiety, the worry, all that stuff just took me down in the end. And all my greatest fears came to pass. You know, incurable disease, bankruptcy, blah blah blah. It just happened, and it was interesting times, really interesting times. And look, I don't want any of you. The purpose of Life Remixed is that you do not have to go through these issues. You don't have to get stuck. You don't have to have a crisis. You know, I've laid it all out. Everything that I've done in the last 12 years to get past all of these challenges and these issues. So we've got another question here. I love this one as well. This is a real beauty. And if you've got a question or a comment, or you want to be on the screen with me or anything like that, then please just pop something in the comments. You're welcome to comment or write something in there, and I will gladly pick up any questions that you want to put in there. We're live across 6 different platforms at the moment, as we always are on a Sunday evening and throughout the week. So, third question. What does it take to move from being a bankrupt to financially free? Yeah, time, time and effort, and the next three things I'm going to say: time and effort and belief. You must believe that you will bounce back. You must believe that there are brighter days ahead. You must choose to believe that you can create something better than what you're going through right now. I was struggling, big time. I mean, I remember, laying in my mum's spare room. Thankfully, she had the little box room left, and I laid in my mum's spare room at 39 years of age, after being a DJ and traveling around the globe, and all the female attention and all the crazy stuff that I got up to. And I remember thinking to myself, well, this could have gone better. I was in my mum's spare room in a single bed, just thinking, like, what on earth is going on? I'm signing on and getting £40 a week. 12 years ago. But thankfully, at that moment, I chose to believe. That I could change it. I chose to believe that I could do something better. I did not know how. I was going to do anything. Let me come back to that. Okay, let's get in here. We've got Jeff. Hello, mate. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for being here. Marvellous to have you on board, mate. Again, I love it. When you can see a head collapses on the horizon, you're about to lose the plot. What do you do to change course in that moment? That's a great question, Michael, and a great picture as well. I love that. When you can see ahead, that there's going to be challenges and there's going to be things that you feel are going to be difficult, to change course is an interesting point of view. What I do is I just control what I'm thinking. I could get into the real spiritual side of this, and I'd be more than happy to. But one of the things I would say is that, if I asked you who you are, you would say, well, probably say I'm Michael. I go, okay, fine. Well, that's just the name that someone else gave you. It's just a word someone gave you. You're not Michael. And then I would get into, well, some people say, well, this is me. This is. I'm like, no, that's just your body. You've been given that body. The next one is that people tend to say is, they tend to say, well, so I think, therefore I am. Okay, so if I said to you, can you change your mind on anything? What would you say? Most people would say, yes, I can change my mind. So, okay, so if you can change your mind, who are you? You can change your mind. So who or what is you? And that is I'm just joining the dots here. It happened for me. I just joined the dots and went, okay, so, and what I came up with this, and it's pretty common around the world when people start to understand it, but it's actually that I'm an energy, I'm a spirit, whatever you want to call it. Without my energy and my spirit, this mind and this body and everything, it's not much use. So at the end of the day, once you understand that you've been given a mind and you can control the way you think, then you can control the way you feel, and that obviously controls the way you act from a subconscious level. That's how you change the course of your life. So at the end of the day, yes, I'm not suggesting that I know exactly what's going to happen in the next 7 to 10 years. I promise you, I'm not really sure. But what I would say to you is that whenever a crisis comes up, and they happen pretty regularly through history, 7 to 10 years, just go back through history. It's all there laid out in the last 100 years, or however we've been documenting things longer than that. There's a crisis, a human crisis. It's a fear. And a fear comes up. There's going to be a fear. So what you've got to do is start ensuring now for the next one. And that's really important. I had a long-term vision. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill describes a genius, and I'm not saying I'm a genius, by the way. He describes a genius as someone who can actually, like an aeroplane, get away from all the hubbub and the noise and everything else, and actually rise up above and be able to see like a long-term view of life. That's what Napoleon Hill describes that as a genius. He studied 500 millionaires for 25 years. Now, all I did was I actually just sort of rose above the hubbub, and actually just looked at the rest of my life. Just looked at the rest of my life and go, right, okay, so if I'm fortunate enough to keep living, keep breathing, every heartbeat keeps coming, and I'm fortunate enough to live late into life, then I want to make sure that I'm visualizing that as far as possible. And so, controlling my thinking, controlling my feeling, controlling my actions means that the next time a crisis hits, as this crisis has hit, Emma and I are in a decent place. We're just cracking on. In fact, we're very, very busy, in all honesty. So, yeah, there's Jeff. Look, Jeff's giving us a wave. Oh, he's got another one here as well. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. I think it's worth thinking about surrounding yourself with people who believe in your vision. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. My take on that would be that like attracts like. Like attracts like. You attract what you are in vibration with, what you're in harmony with. You attract those situations and those people and those circumstances. So you better make sure you're in a good thinking, feeling vibration, so that you're then attracting everything else around everything else around you that you would really, really like. I remember after I left Clubland in a big way, I had to stop, the bankruptcy and everything else. I had to step away. I spent about 6 months on my own, pretty much on my own, just with one mate in his spare room in Clapham. Bless him, lovely fella. And he took care of me, and he let me stay there. And I spent about 6 months pretty much on my own. I did not interact with all of the people I used to interact with. They were carrying on doing exactly what they were doing beforehand. But for me, I had to change. I had to change. And I knew I had to change because I wasn't being happy, healthy, and wealthy. I was being unhappy, sick, and broke. So yes, as I've grown, certainly over the last 12 years, and even in recent times with Lewis and with all the amazing people that are around me, including Emma and all her family and my family and everything else, we all have a shared vision. We all have a shared vision. Am I leading some of it? Well, maybe, but I'm just doing what I like to do as well. So yes, absolutely. Surround yourself with people that believe and understand, and don't make mistakes around money, because a lot of people will take on contracts because they think the money's good, or they'll go for a job because they think the money's good. But if the vibration isn't right, it'll have a savage impact upon you. So, you have to really think about that. And I've got evidence of that in Life Remixed as well. There you go. Jeff said, yeah, moved to Malaysia for 7 years. A bit warmer over there, mate. I'm looking forward to when we can get back. There's Lorna. How did you prioritize what to change first? I think for me, it was pretty obvious for my time, because I was so unhealthy. So health, it was almost like I'd just put everything to one side, and all I did was focus on my health. But when I say health, some people will think, oh, well, eating lots of green vegetables and drinking lots of water. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, that physical health, but also mental health as well. Mental and physical health are connected. The mind and body are completely connected, completely. And the sooner we all understand the mind-body connection, and then we can start to change it. Our body's a reflection of how we're thinking. My body was broken, really broken, in a really bad way. And it's in a bad way because I was thinking in a poor way, should I say. And I had to change it. So I had to change that. And that time of like 6 months at my friend's house, and then moving into my mum's spare room because she had the space for me and I could move in for about another 12 months while I worked on my comeback. And I just started studying. I did Bob Proctor courses. I did Tony Robbins courses, all from afar, all distant learning. But I just focused. I just drilled down and focused on it. And I got myself to the best possible position I could, mentally and physically. And I went running. So I went running every day. I've never been fitter. Some of the photos we were looking at in Life Remixed, I have to look at them and be like, that was like 12 years ago. I could probably go out and I probably need to get a bit fitter. As soon as the weather's warmer enough, I'll get my bicycle out again. But all I would say to you is that it's really, really important to choose where you are right now. And for me, it was physical and mental health. Had to focus on that. A lot of the work, a lot of the jobs we do, they don't actually give us the opportunity. They want you in at 7 a.m. and they don't let you finish until like 7 p.m. or something, or worst case 9 to 5. Trying to get up in the morning, go to the gym before 9 a.m. is pretty tough, and if there's more flexibility in the working environment, which I hope is what's going to happen more with COVID, at the end of the day, let's look at the whole working environment again. Let's have happy, healthy people. Yeah. If someone wants to go to the gym in the morning and start work at 10 a.m., let them do it and let them get fit and strong, and get moving. So it's so important to start looking at this stuff. So, brilliant questions all coming in. Loving it. Thank you all so much for the questions. I love it. Going back to what does it take going from bankrupt to millionaire? Oh, well, financially free, I should say. Although we do own a significant amount of property now, which we're very happy about. And watch out for this because in the next couple of years, we're working on some fantastic deals that are really exciting. What I'd say is, how does it go from bankrupt to financially free? You have to believe. You have to believe. Number one, believe that it's possible for you, and believe that you can visualize your perfect way. There's a fantastic bit actually in The Secret, and Bob Proctor says it as well. He says, if you're trying to program yourself to lose something, then you're going to find it again, which I quite like as a sort of as a wording, as a sentence. At the end of the day, what you've got to do is visualize you're living in your perfect body, doing your perfect job, in your perfect life, running your perfect businesses. You've got to visualize that. Don't try and lose anything. Don't try and lose weight. Don't try and change anything too much. Just visualize what you want or what you would like, and it's going to happen. So believe in this. Believe that you can recover. Then you've got to trust, because that's the other thing. Trust is so important. A lot of people don't trust. A lot of people don't trust themselves, let alone anyone else. You've got to trust in other people and other people's stories. I'm in the e-colors system that Lewis and Lewis's concept, and I obviously work with him on that. Lewis's concept, I'm very top color yellow. So I'm very interested in the who. I'm always inspired by people, as you can probably tell. People inspire me. I love people. I love people's stories. And I trust in people's stories. And I'm like, tell me about the story. Tell me how it worked. And then I'll get on with it, And that's really important to me. So believe and trust, and then focus. How many of us lose focus at different points in the day? Give you a little exercise that Bob Proctor got me to do. And believe you me, if Lewis is still listening, he knows that sometimes I can lose a bit of focus. As a top color yellow, I can be a little bit all over the shop. Bob Proctor taught me, learn to focus. Draw a little dot somewhere that only you know is there. And then just at different points in the day, just stare into it and just be like looking at the dot and nothing else. No distractions. Don't allow thoughts to come in the way. Don't allow the phone or the internet or the emails or anything. Just be like, focus. And I had to train myself over a period of time to focus on that dot. And there's another question that's going to come in that'll probably come up during the week as well. Was how do you run multiple businesses? Well, I focus in on that one at that moment. So if I'm talking with someone, I'm focused in on them, and I'm focused in on the job, the task at hand. And that is it. It's so important. Get that focus right. Yeah. I've got lots of tasks to do throughout the week. I've got lots of clients. I've got lots of things to make happen and make good. And I love doing that. But I'm completely focused. When I'm here with you now, totally focused on you and your questions and ways to get you moving forwards. As I've said, there's lots of great reading out there. Repetition is mastery, and you really, really must learn. Tony Robbins calls it immersion, total immersion. Immerse yourself in learning. Immerse yourself in learning from people who are successful and that you would like to know more about and more from. 95% of them have written a book. Hello. Life Remixed is that story. And as I said to you earlier on, there's some fantastic world-class people that are involved in this project now that are giving us endorsements and forwards from Danny and Kevin and Lewis, of course. And so it's wonderful stuff. And I couldn't be more grateful. Less than a month to go. If you'd like to pre-order, you still can, of course, at markwilkinsonofficial.com/shop. If you'd like to get over there, then do that. And we'll make sure that you get your book that week. February the 23rd is the release date, 1 month to go. Every Saturday night, I am online with the DJ mix, which we're absolutely loving. I've got Emma working away every Saturday night with me now, but getting everybody buzzed up and online. And as I say, nearly 300 people last night. This Wednesday as well, this coming Wednesday, I've got Angelica Lopez. Can I say she's an FBI interrogator? So I'm expecting a tough interview. But Wednesday night, straight talking, 7:30 p.m. I've got Angelica Lopez. She's worked with so many government agencies, and this woman, you wouldn't believe some of the things that she's been through. She is incredible, incredibly resilient. If you think about every crime thriller you've watched on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, crossed with The Silence of the Lambs, you'll understand what I'm talking about when you meet Angelica on Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. This woman is resilient and incredible. between Lewis and I, we've inspired her to write a book as well. I was going to take the credit there, Lewis, but no, it was both of us. So tomorrow morning, I'll be back with Monday Motivation at 8 a.m. So please do join us. 8 a.m. I'll be up bright and early and out here for Monday Motivation. Get you all buzzing, get you all in the mood for a brand new week. Tuesday evening at 7:30, we've got Life Remix Samples at 7:30. So I'll be doing chapter 10, I believe it is. Well done Wednesday, 8 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning for a catch up midweek. Get us over the hump, get us over the hump day. And then 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday evening, like I said, we've got Angelica Lopez in Straight Talking. And then obviously next Saturday back with a DJ mix. And Jeff, who knows his DJs, says, great set, mate. I loved it. Cheers, Jeff. Really appreciate that, mate. It was a great night last night, and long may it continue. If you want to listen back, just go to mixcloud.com/Mark Wilkinson official. It's all there. Lots of interaction, lots of love. I want you to have a wonderful Sunday evening. I hope that's helped. I'm here to help. It's over to you guys. It's over to you guys to make the magic happen. Lewis calls me the London Lighthouse, keeping us all off the rocks while giving you a bright vision for the future. That's what it's about. It's about a bright vision for the future. I plan to make the rest of my time on this planet absolutely wonderful. Don't waste a moment, friends. Don't waste a moment. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Make the most of this difficult time. Write a book or connect with people in a different way. Do something. But do something that actually is in line with your passion. Work on your assets, have your passion, and go for it. Right, big love. I can't wait to see you all again. I'll be back in the morning, 8 a.m. See ya.